Arsenal have employed a new scout as well, people. Let me find that article. Here we have it. Arsenal add Bayern Munich stalwart Florian Buchau to scouting team in bid to secure top German talent. Apparently, we've also employed a French Donny as well. If you scroll here, apparently Tony Lima, former Andorran international, who is the most capped player for his country, has previously worked at the likes of Man United, Inter Milan, and the Brazil Federation. Maybe that's where he got he got the connection with Edu, it is there. And apparently he will focus on the Spanish market and will report to Arsenal's technical director Edu. There was a French Donny we're meant to have got as well. Apparently, this 37-year-old people spent over a decade at Bundesliga Giants, where he worked his way up from youth team video analysis to head of technical scouting. And obviously, he's focused on Spanish, Italian, Polish, Czech, North American, and German markets, especially North American, Czech, Polish. These are places where they've got players where can we find them before they reach the intermediate steps in Europe and whatnot. Apparently, as I said, there was a French Donny. Also, Football.London also revealed that Romain Porat has been, I can't say his name, Poral, has been appointed as first team scout with a particular focus on the French football market. He was a full-time scout at Nottingham Forest and he joined Manchester City and he's worked his way up and done stuff. So hopefully that means we can find better players, people. Apparently he's been here since October. And the move was announced via LinkedIn. So his feet are well under the table, and he's probably drawn up a list of targets and whatnot. And hopefully it means we can find people for our academy and all of these things. Apparently he was involved in all decision-making processes for targeting players for first team and academy. So let's hope this is a good one, innit? Allegedly, though, this was actually something I had up before, obviously, what came about. Aubameyang unhappy with Mikel Arteta behind closed doors. He's been left frustrated by Mikel Arteta's handling of the issue that saw him left out of the squad against Southampton. He was admitted for reasons we know. So yeah, he seems vexed with him, innit? Like, he seems vexed with him. So it seems like there's a problem, apparently. He's been left unhappy with how publicly the issue is dealt with by Arteta. Now adding into what we know already, it could be brazy. He's out of contract next year. I mean, if you can palm him off for a year and get a loan fee, why not, man? I mean, if it wasn't made public, then at some point you were going to see Aubameyang on the pitch and someone else wearing the captaincy. The way they've gone around it has been an issue. Which is booky, man. Like, it's... Hey, man, what a morning. Like, seriously, what a morning. What a morning. Oba had to lose the armband. His behavior put Arteta in a corner, probably. We got DG. There's a live press conference at 1:30. I mean, there is, and we're gonna hear exactly what he's got to say, in it, really and truly. It's going to be a very, very interesting one. And I mean, tomorrow we'll react to whatever fallout things happen and whatever comes out. 416. Let's push towards 400 likes. Keep any opinions coming and whatnot. The thing about Aubameyang is he's always shown these performances since he signed, but he always used to bag a game after, which he doesn't now. Terrell, run love, but yeah, man, I'm one and only thing. I don't remind you of you. I remind myself of me, man. You're your own guy. Pepe looks angry when he came on. You should be angry. Have a point to prove, Put in a performance that gives the impression of how dare the manager bench me. Make yourself a starter. Saka only guaranteed starter in attack, and unpopular opinion away from the last game, should he be? He should be for me. Smith Rowe gets injured too often. When last was he injured? Apart from right now. Tierney for captain because of his work rate since he came in, but for now, Laka. Things need to be fixed at the top of the club before we become consistent. Why you blame Arsenal for being strong, I don't understand. Dale, I don't know if you're referring to me, but you could never have been listening. Has to be Kieran, in my opinion. Odegaard is the captain of Norway, so he is the man. Do you know what? And we always say we don't know. Funny enough, we're sitting here and say we don't know. No one looks like a captain. We're all saying different names in relation to who should be captain. Some more serious than others, but you get the point. Do you rate Arteta for doing this, DG? I don't rate or not rate no one. Like I don't know all the variables. I don't know all the facts. I don't have time for either one of them. You know, Aubameyang, you've been a good player here. You know, Arteta, you've done some good things. I don't think you're 100% right. I don't think you're right. I don't think you're wrong. Same with Aubameyang. What I would say is I ain't got time for this. Like, you know, it's another story. So again, Arteta is gonna, whether I agree with it or not, Arteta is gonna outlast Aubameyang. And Arteta is someone that's cool with Josh Kroenke. Doesn't look like there's any immediate pressure. So if this is what the manager wants to do, let's move on. As long as we're creating and scoring goals, which Aubameyang isn't bringing to the table, then it's cool, innit? I wouldn't say I rate or not rate. I think, you know, to get to this point, I wonder why has it got to this point. But at the same time, you know, it's mid-season. It's the December period. It just feels like, you know, a couple of games ago, everything was great at Arsenal. Now we've gone through a bit of woeful form. Everything's appalling. It just, you know, that's what annoys me is that everything connected to this club is always hanging on by a knife edge. You know, because I'm not saying we should be screaming and shouting we should be screaming and shouting from the rooftops, but you know, we're acting like we're Newcastle right now. Like, man are stripping captains and all these things are happening. I mean, Lokonga captains, Anderlecht, Partey captains. That, you know, for me, there are captains out there, but Lokonga, Partey, you man, lead by example. Just look like captains, in it. Actual guys that I think should be captains at this football club. You know, it's Gabriel, Ben White. Well, no, Ben White would be my outside choice. Gabriel, no order. Gabriel, Tierney, Aaron Ramsdale. You know, that would be it, really. I'm just tired of these love dramas, man. We haven't got time for this. Like, Arsenal are going nowhere fast, so cut people loose. You know, again, when you're on a plane, they say sort out your own life jacket first for your life thing first. We're not doing that. You know, we've got an incompetent, like, whatever company we bought it from, much like our players ain't working. We've got players. Some people don't know what it is. Certain people are trying to put the face mask on their foot. Certain people are trying to save everyone and saving no one. So I haven't got much time for it, man. I mean, I can't, you know, Xhaka as well, but at the same time, I'm not going to be against Xhaka getting it, but I think it's pretty damning. I mean, for Arteta, it doesn't surprise me because he's your guy, but I think it's pretty damning, and it, you know, that if he can, to play devil's advocate, can carry on how he carried on and become our captain, there's an issue. I wouldn't say stacked. We do have some leaders, but I think we don't promote leadership. And I think certain people are leaders in waiting, but they don't know how to lead. It started. Where is it? Because if not, I'll come. Like I said, we'll cover it tomorrow. Like, where? How do you even watch it live? The DG should get the armband. Oh, yeah, I lost my armband, man. I see Odegaard as a captain, but it's not. We're gonna go through the same things. We're gonna go through the same things with Odegaard. You know, people aren't gonna be here for this leading by example. People are gonna want to see him getting white stuff at the corner of his mouth, shouting and carrying on. That's what people. That's all being a captain is to certain man. That's all being a captain is. You know, that's all being a captain is. And when you look at our captaincy in the last couple of years, people, you know, captain since '07, the captain's curse keeps going. William Gallas, you know, well, he joined the Spuds on a free. Cesc joined Barca. You know, obviously we was giving it to these man as some sort of bargaining chips to stay, much like Aubameyang. These lot were just moving mad. Koscielny, I think it's a bit harsh. He went on strike because Emre was doing him dirty, but he was still the captain. Mertesacker, Arteta, and Vermaelen, you lot were pensioners by the time you lot were done here, and it just seemed like you lot were the captain because you was them Sunday League teams where a man's 50, but he's been here since he was 18 and whatnot, really and truly. And the thing is, for Aubameyang, what I would say is play well. You can do whatever you want. You're not popping some manner on you, you know. Where do you watch this live as well, folks? Trust. Big up my guy Dutty Duds. Make sure you're taking him in on YouTube and Twitter, and also people, you know, check out Touchline Development, especially, well, it doesn't matter if you're local to North London or whatever. Great one-to-one sessions. They work with academy boys as well. And I know some of you, man, are shit and got a poor first touch. So go and check out their thing on Instagram and whatnot. Him and Roms are doing some great stuff. I can't see any natural captain as of now. Some in the making, but it's tired. Never saw Aubameyang as a natural captain. Same. He's mandem. It's absolute mandem. Well, go on with the gang affiliation, Donny. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you got a gang from, but you know, if you and your mum knows something I don't know, then yeah, man. You know, I don't know nothing about that. DG, been a while since I caught you live. Aye, better late than never, man. You lot are telling me Mikel Arteta's press conference has started, people. So let's see what's going on. Arteta presser. Better press conference. See what's being said here, man. Now, White for captain. Hella feds, bro. I don't know what they're doing here, like, but fair play. You know, apparently, you know, I really would just prefer to wait for this when it gets live, when we have everything to hand. But allegedly, let's catch it live, people. Football fan, Arsenal fans, football of the year. I don't know about none of this. This is not what we want to see, blood. Aubameyang's reaction Aubameyang was not happy with the public nature which shows issues handled. I mean, where is it? This ain't nothing, man. This is BS, man. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to find this. Where can I watch this press conference, man? To be fair, him talking about leadership groups isn't an issue because that's a thing. You know, City have that. Emre brought that in under us. It's just, yeah, it's one of them ones. Normally they're typing this as they're going along, man. So yeah, Football.London are doing quite a poor job at this. You know, why tell us this thing is live and then not? Might as well just react to it later, people. It just makes sense once it's all out. Like it's apparently Arteta said yes, we did it face to face with the player. He had to accept the decision. I don't have much to say. I think it's a really clear statement from the club. It's a decision we've made following the last incident we had with the player, and this is where we stand. Boy, so Arteta's taking the hardline approach. He ain't got time for this. He's talking about leadership groups, allegedly. He says Arsenal will follow the leadership group in terms of the next captains. And obviously that would suggest, obviously, you've got Lacazette, you've got Holding, you've got Tierney. I would imagine it's, you know, he's just come into it, but I'd guess Ramsdale probably gets thrown into that. So yeah, Mikel Arteta is talking about leadership groups. It's kind of like it's a leadership group thing, not about being a captain. Good to see you, 400 viewers. I normally turn up when you have maybe 30. Big up yourself. Fred, man, you know, we're getting somewhere, I hope. Or maybe, you know, Aubameyang's done it for us. 355. Can we push towards 400? It's on the Arsenal app, the presser. I appreciate that. Have I even got the updated app? Big up to you for being the only one who bothered to answer the effing question. I answer all you lot's questions. Man, I don't want to answer, man. Bullshit. I'd prefer for it to be on the computer, but you can't have it all. Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, it's free on the app. So I've got to pre it on this thing anyways. But then it's dead because I can't, you lot don't know what the hell's going on. He's talking about when Aubameyang could be involved as well. Where's my phone? Man, do you know what? I'd rather just wait until he says it all, man. Arteta's just talking about it being raw and stuff. I'd rather just wait, man. Next year we touching 1K, above 1K. Hope so. You have to get a captain that came through your academy. They have to live and breathe Arsenal from birth. I mean, it sounds amazing saying that, but reality is that's just superficial shit. I mean, if it'd be lovely to have someone that comes through the academy and stuff, but ultimately you just need to be competent. And again, who is that? Because Smith Rowe and Saka aren't ready to be captain. Who is that? Living and breathing. There's man that live or breathe it, and there's shit. Like, let's be real. Like, there's guys that come through the academy and there's shit, blood. First time here. Curious to know what your thoughts are. Just unnecessary, I would say. Obviously, I'll give you some timestamps to go back on because I don't want to keep repeating myself, but just unnecessary. Just again, Arsenal being in the headlines for everything other than we're starting to right the wrongs of our previous seasons. We're actually looking like a good team and the rest of it. Boy. But yeah, I've dropped the timestamps in there. DG, I see how you do your Football Manager. Would you do that with FIFA career? Hey, you lot, there's 423 of you locked in. Everyone puts a pan in, you know, that's 400 quid, mate. And you lot can have your PS5 and all the FIFA games you want. Run up the lights. Come on, Tariq. Appreciate that. DG, in my opinion, this may be the beginning of something we don't want to happen. Ripple effect. It's been happening. Like, is this any different from last Jan? Like, Arsenal been doing this, bro. Like, this is it. This is what these men are on. This is what they've become. So, I'm not too sure, man. It's a fairy tale, blood. If they're shit from the academy, it don't matter. Like, again, you got one. You know, this club is kings of relying on one captain to change the whole outlook, relying on one manager to change everything, relying on a striker to just score all our goals. Think signing a creative man is going to solve all our creative issues. You know, sign one centre mid and we're going to have some steel in midfield. You know, sign a centre half and think we've improved defensively. Yeah, it might sound logical. You need to improve defense, for example. You sign a centre back, but there's way more to life than that. And this is what Arsenal fans, Arsenal Football Club, and nobody understands. There's not one single soul across any aspect that is going to save us, unless you got Roman Abramovich to buy the club or someone off that. But even that, you know, one single soul can't save this football club. Everyone has to collectively want to do serious things. Till you get to that, you can forget about everything else. It's an absolute mazza. Leadership group and them thing there. Mad thing. Absolute mazzers. On Xhaka, Xhaka is one of the captains and he's part of the leadership group and he's a really important player for us. The leadership group, Arteta also said the leadership group can change and alter. So this means you could probably lose stuff. Arteta still described his relationship as really good and said it was painful to strip him of the captaincy. Boy, you know. And again, he said on Aubameyang's reaction, yes, we did it both. The club and I having a personal conversation and myself face to face with the player. I respect that. It wasn't a sneaky thing. You did, you know, you said it to his face. You know, Arteta on the club statement, he said, I don't have much to say. I think it's really clear from the club. It is a decision we have made following the last incident that we had with the player. And this is where we stand. So, you know, again, I'll do a recap either today or tomorrow on what his thoughts are in relation to it. But again, this is one part of me reason I don't really like the press conference. I like for the press conferences to finish. So we have everything that we need to hand and we can take it in. You know, again, there's several sides to this story. We ain't seen the end of this, but it is what it is, people. It's just unfortunate Arsenal in the headlines for anything other than playing well, which is quite of a mazza. It's a shame that an Aubameyang convo is going to be required. Boy, it's peak, man. Trust. Other clubs have the leadership groups. I'm not going to cap. I think Chelsea got it, or they should do. You know, every group's got a leadership group. Even indirectly, there might not be an emphasis on it's a leadership group, but there's always going to be a core group of individuals. Who's your dream signing in January? But I can't dream being an Arsenal fan. But if you can bring me Kareem Adeyemi, Hossein Aouar, Bruno Guimaraes, things like that, then yeah, you said dream in it. That's dream. Apparently, Leeds have been charged for the fracas at Chelsea. They've been charged for failing to control their players. Obviously, on the topic of Leeds, Manchester City, I'm doing a watch along for that later today. So make sure you're all there for that as well. I've just put the link in. One love to the 6, including myself, who have hit that like button. Make sure you hit that. And obviously, tomorrow as well, shout out to the 19 people, including myself, who have hit the like button on this. Richard, one love for becoming a member again. Clement's already up there in the comments. I appreciate that. Set your reminders, hit the like button. It don't cost a thing, man. Big up DG. Thanks for entertaining me on my long journey from college. Big up to you kings and queens in the chat. Come on, my guy. What news you must be coming in or have come in since you finished college, bro. It's crazy for you, but it is what it is. Oba saves us all the time. He has a couple of bad games and us fans want him to go. Wow, us fans. I mean, I do think we should stand by Aubameyang, but it's not a couple of games, is it? Nah, it's not a couple of games. And at the same time, neither party owes anybody nothing. If Aubameyang chose to keep it moving when he was in good form and everyone was begging him to stay, he had the negotiating position of power. Times change, things change. You know, the old school bully, the bully of the school, ends up getting beaten up when people go through puberty and they're big enough to chuck it. You know, same way now that the club, Aubameyang, we needed the club, Aubameyang, the club needed Aubameyang more than he needed us at the time. Now the scales flipped. I wouldn't say, that he's got options. You know, he can do what he wants, but I can't see you go into these clubs that you was linked with. Again, your agent might be able to work something, and at the same time, we don't owe him nothing. As much as we need to stand behind him, support him, we don't owe him nothing. We do not owe him nothing. It's an Arsenal team. You're not scoring goals. You're not relevant. It's as simple as that. You can't rest on your past laurels. On Football Manager, I won 3 trophies. You big up to the Twitch gang. The minute I started losing, you lot were calling DG a fraud. So, yeah, blood. You got to do your thing all the time. Look how many footballers have been turned on. Great stream. See, I appreciate that. Come on, Omar. I appreciate that plug-in. It's disappointing for everybody. Arteta, Aubameyang, the club, everything, Somehow more disappointing than our performances of recent. Brazy one. I mean, that's good for Son, man. That's good for Son. Still got fuck all to show for it at the Spuds, Son can play out of his skin. He ain't on the cash that we're on. The two situations aren't susceptible. Good luck to Son for that. Aubameyang's still doing more than Cade. So what is that saying? Like, if we're gonna be silly, here's a what? Let me get a cookie for Son. Big up Son because he's a terrific player. But I wouldn't say we've been saving, man. We don't owe no one no saving. If anything, the fans need saving, bro. The fans are the ones, fans need saving. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm not an Aubameyang fan. I'm not an Arteta fan. I'm not a Lacazette fan. I'm not this guy's fan. It seems like there's just too much fucking clicks where this club is concerned or fans of clubs. You like Tierney, so you can't like Tavares. You think Tavares has had good form, so Tierney can never get back in the team. You like Smith Rowe, so you can't rate Odegaard, even though at stages both have lost form, both have played well together, both have stood up to be counted when other weren't. Fans always say they want depth and they want a squad, and they fail to recognize very few players, especially when you have an average age of 23, are going to be consistent for anything close to 38 games. But what do I know, man? I'm just an innocent football fan. I mean, if I'm Balogun, regardless, my head is going on loan. I'm loan. Because if Aubameyang F's off in AFCON, he could come back and play. People can come back from the dead. I would want to go. If Arteta sits you man to a man, you look in his eyes and he says, you're going to get no BS, not like the last cap I gave you. You're getting opportunities, do your thing. But if I'm Balogun, and a lot of these players at them ages now, if I look back in May, at the end of the month and the season, and I had the season I've wanted, I ain't played the games, you have to blame yourself because promises are comfort to an idiot. And you're lapping them up. Who do I want as captaincy? You can throw. I don't really care about the captaincy. I just want everyone should look like a captain. But no order. Gabriel, Ramsdale, Tierney, Odegaard, you man, sort it out. I'm probably missing one name, but you man, sort it out. This is what I'm saying. Playground mentality, this side, that side. I used to play for my team. So unless the only sides is DG or Mash, innit? And if he's still watching my shit, boy, stop calling yourself Mash because you ain't, you never did it. Don't call yourself them name there, bro. Don't call them name there, bro. They took my captaincy, but I'm still the Everton captain. Come on, man. This is making me emotionally charged. It's making me get PTSD when I lost my rascal captaincy. Boy, Aubameyang, let's start our podcast, man. The Lost Captains. There's money there. Obviously, with a week's wages, you can get us the best studio equipment there. Bloody is as well, bro. We could be wavy. Give it a thought, man. It could be lit. We turned on deluded manager because the L trains emptied our coffers. Bro, you lot, you see, we're on me. But we're backseat, man. Big up DG. Would like to see Gabriel's the next captain. Wouldn't mind that, man. But I don't want to look at. 400 likes. Sorry to make bare noise, but big push from all of you lot involved, man. Make sure you're continuing the like button and subscribing. You don't see Chelsea calling out players like that, though, my brother. Cause them players are not doing nonsense that we're doing, broski. I hear you, but and I agree with you. Chelsea would have handled it proper, but yeah, bro, their players ain't on a joke to. Bro, lost captains would be wavy still. Feel like we're definitely buying a striker in Jan now, DJ. I hope so. We need 2 strikers. You need to replace Laka and Aubameyang. You know, this Aubameyang. The only thing that's made it more of a pressing issue with Aubameyang is the form and this stuff that has come out. I said it then. You needed to know who is going to replace this man, or have a list of 10, 20 names, people that you're going to watch between the year he signed that deal to next year, if it got to that, to who you're going to bring in. It's only amplified now because man are moving shit. We've needed to find a goal scorer. Arsenal only want to fix problems when they become an issue for us, you know. We only want to start going shopping and going Sainsbury's when there's nothing in the fridge, where you should be looking and saying, all right, boy, I need to go buy some eggs, some milk, some butter. I look in my cupboard, there's no bread, you know. Suddenly, when you're trying to make toast at 3 a.m. or whatever, and tell you, bro, you can't chef off nothing, you know. If you can make a mackerel and some rice, then fair play. But you get it, like, replace problems before they become problems. You know, what is it? I swear there's a saying like fix the roof while the sun's shining or something like that. That's something we could take heed from. We should learn from. If I'm completely honest with you guys. Lost Captains has a nice ring to it. I remember you heard that if someone steals it, you know. Story time. No stories. If you was there, you was there, innit? If you're talking about how I lost my captaincy, I didn't do nothing. I wouldn't like Aubameyang. My problem with losing my captaincy is probably because I wanted to win too much. And I'm sure people then would agree. I just wanted to win too much still. Like, I was a good captain. I was good with the players. I was on time. You get me? Obviously, two yellow cards and, you know, fighting and two carrying on. But other than that, come on, man. Like, the fans loved me. Everyone loved Man Blood. Ben White's a shout as well, Bob. You're right, man. And I got to see up close how he is as a captain Chelsea in pre-season, and that's where I just think he's a lot more vocal. And this is the thing, you know, people just want to see man shout for the sake of it. I think in football it's too easy to fool people who don't know what they're looking for, because if you're a player, you could be actually harming your team tactically, but if you just run around aimlessly flying into things, people are going to say you get it. Same goes as a captain. You just shout, they're going to say you get it. You as a manager, you start moving your hands, man are going to call you a genius, you know. There's a lot of false images. A lot of people don't know what they're looking for, so they fall for a lot of bullshit. Pardon me. And you know, and the thing is, I love Lacquer, but certain people that were saying sign a new deal, what's gonna happen then? Listen, you'll never know, man. If you know, you know. Leave that one. I got asked to return though. Chat to my agents. Chat to my agents. Chat to my agents. I don't know about no return, bro, because he used to say you won't do a man dirty again. He's a striker. I think that Isak might be a better deal than Vlahovic, because every club wants the latter. Maybe, but if you sign, I think Vlahovic is more likely to hit the ground running based on what I've seen in the Premier League than it is Isak, you know. But I think Arsenal need to become comfortable with the fact of, unless you do a mad scouting thing like we've done, obviously it took a point to get Van Persie up there, and Adebayo didn't bang straight away. But unless you're going to do the scouting thing, I very much doubt we're gonna sign we're gonna sign a household name that's gonna fix the goals problem, you know. And then you're gonna see what I've been saying and what some of you saying. We need to create stuff, man. Street saying the back four gone quiet without DG. Boy, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? When you free up the hitters, you get me. You get rid of the drillers, and then yeah, people are upset. There's no more drilling. Like, what's going on? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you got rid of the savages. There's no savages no more. Like, it's crazy. Like, I miss you lot, man. I miss you lot, man. Arteta is deluded. There's only one of them, man. But fair play. You know, he's got to chat to me if he wants that. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy where this thing is concerned, man. Raw. I can't lie, you know, it's sounding peak for Aubameyang, you know. I'm not gonna lie, people. It's sounding like there's no return for Donny because I'll click on these things in a sec, people. But this was the one I wanted to say. Where is it? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Yeah. On when Aubameyang could return to the squad. All right, cool. You lost your captaincy. We've got to move on now. We need a bit of time. It needs a bit of time to heal. For now, he's not involved in the squad. So is he still training? Is he training alone? Because obviously this, you know, I'm sure you've briefed the players. I'm sure Arteta, you know, Aubameyang in the WhatsApp group has said it, but I'm sure at some point, again, I don't know if he's still isolating due to coming back late, but at some point he's got to come back in training. So is he going to do up under 23s? Is he going to be training with the first team? And if I'm an ignorant, naive, let's just say I'm Tavares, just because I like him and you know, the managers told me, but I'm just thinking, well, go on, Car. I've heard the press conference. The gaffer told us something. You told us something, but you man are in shit. Like he's leading the session. What's going on here? Like for me, it's a thing like that. Like what's gonna happen in the day to day now, Car? Okay, there's a next story tomorrow. You know, we've had you wait for yesterday. It's Aubameyang today. Tomorrow could be Arsenal getting collapsed by Antonio at the back post. But you know, it's a next story in it. So what is said then? And that's it for me because that I wouldn't say he's ruled out Aubameyang, but this doesn't tell me that a man's got to look back in the team and if he behaves himself and whatnot. This just reminds me of, you know, you get beats when you're younger, you're embarrassed to come back into the front room or whatever because you think everyone's still thinking about it. That's what this thing is starting to remind me of. Um, Coincidentally, on the impact of the decision on the dressing room, not like they have a choice. Well, they accepted the decision, and I think they know because they have committed to it. They have demanded that we want to take our culture, our demands, and who do we? Oh, hey man, that didn't even give me a chance. And who do we want to be as a club, and how do we want to represent this football club to a different level? And when those standards are not met, you know that you cannot participate in our daily basics. On the importance of the next captain, it's really important. But for me, having a leadership group is something that has been tremendously helpful because then you get different voices. It is a really multicultural dressing room. It is, but you know, again, I think Arsenal and a lot of clubs have a long way to go because again, you start stepping up and looking at the backroom staff, doesn't look really multicultural. You start looking at the directors, doesn't look very multicultural. Of course, the players, you know, you can identify a lot with the players, the decision makings, and I'm sure you could say the same if you're an Arsenal fan, Spurs fan, Manchester City fan, Liverpool fan, just everywhere. There's a real problem with diversity and even Arsenal Football Club. I love you guys, but even the latest fan group, I don't want diversity for the sake of it. But yeah, man, you know, it's hardly as diverse as the area of Finsbury Park or hardly as diverse as the playing staff. Fair play. But yeah, man, he said it's a really multicultural dressing room that needs a lot of attention and different feelings and different languages. They all have to be involved, and I'm really comfortable with that. So, can Aubameyang? Do you not think people Aubameyang, if there is a future, he can be part of the leadership group? But where the management thing is that's not a you one. I mean, the captain thing is not a you thing anymore. Well, we have the leadership group, and I think that we have different players that are nominated to be captain. In the last game, it was Laka, and we have Xhaka as well, who has been captain. So we'll follow that. Obviously, it is a really unpleasant situation, and it's not the moment to make any rash decision. That leadership group is really strong. It is one that communicates with myself and the coaching staff, then with the club in a really clear and strong way. We are going to continue like that, and it is one of the decisions that we made to make the group a little bit better and to try to educate them and try to get the right feedback all the time and build that trust and strong culture around the club. It is really working well, so we'll continue to do that. Obviously, once again, he's confirmed he spoke face to face with Aubameyang and delivered the news. Hit the like button if you haven't. Scrolling all the way up on how big of a test this is on the squad. It is really unpredictable. It's a really unpredictable environment and sport. Every day is harder and harder to live with a lot of things that have happened, but they're dealing with it extremely well. You see that they're already doing on the pitch the amount of importance they are taking around the club and how vital they have been in our very close season. This is what I want. I want them to take accountability. I want them to be important players in the team. It has to be on and off the field. When those decisions aren't taken, they have to participate in them because they are a big part of that. True. What else? So yeah, a big test for them boy there, but let's see what they're on in it. Like, Again, then there's no scapegoating, there's no blaming certain players and whatnot if we're moving iffy in the seat, if we're moving iffy. So hopefully that's not the case, people, man. But how many times are you gonna please don't spam? Spamming's just gonna get blocked. Arteta said Laka is captain, Xhaka is vice captain, and Rob Holding is third in line. Boy, then that's what you have to see. DJ, have you seen Aubameyang's agent's post on Instagram? What's he said? I don't know. Who's his agent? I don't know nothing. Boy, it's a sad story, man. It's sad, man. It's sad. The hottest loves have the coldest of ends, is what I would say, man. That all that Aubameyang. Where did it get kicked off with against Everton? The hottest loves have the coldest of ends, man. It's like Alexis Sanchez, man. Alexis Sanchez, I remember the first game this man walked through the club, Crystal Palace at home. And look how that ended. Boy. 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 Yeah. Yeah, from the press conference, it didn't sound like he'll be returning to. Free him up, man. One of the reporters alluded to possible contract breaches, and Arteta didn't seem to deny. I mean, Arteta doesn't seem like someone that's got that. Obviously, I wouldn't say he's feeding Aubameyang out to the wolves, but this isn't necessarily someone that is kind of calming down the speculation and doing some sort of damage limitation. All right, cool. Aubameyang's got to face the music for this thing, but them little 2 and 2s, the little 10s you're getting out, the 2 and 2s are giving you, it's not adapting. It's because of this, that, and the third. Anything not said leads for speculation, as you lot know. And I'm not being funny. As much as I feel for Aubameyang and feel for Arteta, I feel they're both right and wrong. Reality is, if I'm Arteta, this is something you can't get away from. But man, need to focus on West Ham tomorrow, and then Leeds on the weekend. Because again, you lot can tell by my tone, a lot of the things what I speak about, I'll give you lot my time a day. I'll waffle about it like I am for 2.5 hours. But in the grand scheme of things, away from my obvious care, I don't care about it. Like, I don't have the capacity to care about Arteta and Aubameyang and a lot of these things. I only care about my football club. And the more time it's not looking like a serious club, this is where my issues get concerned. If we're going on a road, certain man might not be able to make the journey. Probably is he probably isn't going to change anything. To be fair, I mean, his agent's allowed to do that, man. You heard of Filthy at 5. What's that, Filthy Fellas? If that's not them, then I don't know. But big up whoever that is, in it. No disrespect. Big up DG. Shout out to you, Noel. I think Arteta/Aubameyang's relationship broke down some time ago. You're not alone. It's a shame that we have no one at the moment who stands out as a leader. Someone in defense or midfield would be best, but who? I think we've got a couple. I mean, the ability doesn't normally match. I think midfield, you could say Xhaka. I wouldn't really go with that. I think I'm giving it to one of the, members of the back five. The 2 centre halves or our left back or our right back would get it for me. Lacazette, you can keep doing your thing to the end of the season. I don't doubt your integrity and all of that stuff, but yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I'd advocate for us to sign at least one homegrown striker. Bro, Watkins, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Tony, they're all costing a pretty penny. That's 2 strikers you're speaking of before we even talk about addressing the midfield, which for me, I wouldn't say is a more pressing area than a striker, but you don't build a house backwards, You don't think about solar panels if your foundations or your house might break down. You can't be thinking about solar panels if the installation is booky, So I do think we need a striker. And obviously, as I was saying earlier, it's only been elevated more so with Aubameyang going missing and whatnot. And obviously doing this, but midfield, because how's the ball going to get to these strikers? Like, how? The longer this midfield looks like this, we're not doing a damn thing. Arteta's in for the long one, but he knows. He can do this, sack a man mid-season. you know, because this isn't going to be something said. Aubameyang, he's probably did it at the right time because Aubameyang's form's on the floor. And in the grand scheme of things, a lot of fans are swayed not because of they agree or disagree with Aubameyang or Arteta. They're the form. You know, certain people were done with Aubameyang, same way certain people are done with Arteta. So this is giving fuel to either fire, really and truly. And obviously, Arteta knows unless a mad thing happens, I'm gonna be here next year, so I can probably do something like that. What I would say, I hope he learns from his mistakes because this is another thing where I don't want him to sack a captain, go through the COVID stuff, deal with COVID from the first year, deal with these players' things, and then he ultimately F's off and goes somewhere else and manages them into a success. These things cannot be in vain. And what I would say of Arteta, boy, you need to make sure it looks like it's not you who's the problem. Odegaard is captain of Norway, a natural leader on the field and a role model off it until he does something people don't agree with. You know, I find it very funny how you could be a role model, but if you make one mistake, you're not a role model anymore. And I mean, I know it comes with it, but who said these players want to be role models? Who said you should be following them? And who said that's fair, man? But you're right, man. He's Arteta. For me, it goes to Odegaard. And again, if I didn't say that, I meant to say Odegaard as well, as I've been saying throughout the whole of this live stream. I mean, Aubameyang don't get service. Balogun in his little minutes at Brentford didn't get service. You know, a lot. Anywho, Lacazette don't get service. The next striker won't get service. You know, so he can sign the striker. That's only half the job. You know, Aubameyang isn't finishing the clear-cut chances he's presented with, but literally, like, we're creating minimal chances a game. Well, what great goals that we scored great all goals, but great goals that we scored against Southampton. We're doing that 2-3 times a game, as was the case against Everton, as was the case against United and Liverpool. That's why, well, not so much United, but that's why fans, focus on them incidences. We should be doing that millions times a game. Of course, we've got a long way to go to reach that. I've never seen someone without any real clout make such authoritative decisions. What I would say, Miles, is if it goes left, at least if I'm Arteta, I need to say I did it my way because I do think Emre was almost the polar opposite of Arteta. At times when he needed to put his foot down, he didn't. And I think if he had his time again, he might have did certain things. And for Arteta to defend him, I would say you don't want to have no regrets. If you get sacked at the end of the year, you need to don't have any regrets. Should I have dropped this player? Shouldn't I have done this? And it might shake things up. Players might fix up if it is cozy and a bit like a play scheme, and they see this happen to Aubameyang. Certain man need to think, boy, if this can happen to Aubameyang, who am I? And that's what you need. Emre's lifting trophies, bro. Not relevant to it, but we know Emre's lifting trophies. The armband should be returned back to Xhaka. I mean, there's not too many other options, are there? So he probably will be granted such. It is what it is in that regards, people. But sad, somehow we can go forth. And for me, it's like I said, the hottest loves have the coldest ends, man, because if we cast our mind back, like, to remember when he had that whole announcement vid and all of that. How did we get here, Aubameyang, man? How did we get here? How did we get here? I hope there's a resolution, man. No one loves a zero to hero story better than me, man. Miles, I hear it. At some point, with Aubameyang, when I look at it in isolation, all right, cool. I can see a reality where he's pissed them off. Like, you keep taking the piss. It gives me a bit of the Guendouzi one. He's giving man chances. You're taking the piss. With Edu as well. So they've clipped you. With Ozil, you're taking the piss. It doesn't seem, one thing I'll give Arteta, it doesn't, and I don't know. It seems like he has a problem with man management. Yes. But it doesn't seem like you do one mad thing and then you're out. It's completely different. But Xhaka, when he came in, the whole world wanted Xhaka gone. You said, nah, you're playing. It is conditional love, but at the same time, it is. And Joker, that used to be. I used to say that all the time. I used to have that in my bio. The same rope you climb up on, it's the same rope they hang you with. The same people that were saying, "Oh, Aubameyang, lovely, leading by example." Not letting the contract stuff mash him up. this and that. He looks after his body. As soon as the thing look different, them things done a complete turnaround. And the sad thing is with life, man. You know, you keep having a problem with everyone. You've got to be the problem. But is it everyone? There's been quite a turnaround. But yeah, man. I think Aubameyang's time's done as well, man. I just listen. Thanks for the memories. If you and Arteta are gonna beef, reality is Arteta is gonna be here longer than you as the manager. Let's find a resolution where you can go somewhere, enjoy your football, not be a thing for Arsenal fans, and then it is what it is. Because for me, one thing I want to be able to do is talk about just the football, because this is another thing for man to hide behind. If we move shaky against West Ham, I don't want to hear no nonsense about how this affected people's performance and all of these sort of things. I don't want to hear it. And where I feel sorry for Aubameyang, I don't want you to be public enemy number one. Like, obviously, I don't think a man's scared to leave his house, but I don't want a man to be scared to leave their house or think apprehensive and whatnot. As I said, in the grand scheme of things, Aubameyang might not care because your mindset might be right. I might be right, I might be wrong, but my family, bro, like, mum, bro. All right, cool. I'm going to France then. You know, is what it is. And that's what he should do. Just spend time with mumsy, do up that. And then, yeah, man, whatever happens, isn't it? But it's gonna be an interesting couple of weeks. Interesting January. Arteta has a huge say on Arsenal. You know, again, he's cool with Josh Kroenke. You know, I've said it before. If it goes left, I think Edu is clipped before Arteta. You've got to be flexible with certain man. Pause. You know, you've got to be. You know, you've got to be able to. You know, Di Canio, Cantona, Ginola, all of these guys. And Arsenal, if we want to be a club that attracts best talent, you're gonna get these mavericky dons. You know, and I don't really feel the my way is the highway thing, but it is what it is, man. On that note, though, I'm gonna keep it moving, man. We've been here for 2.5 hours. You know, it's been mad. You know, obviously timestamps will be put in. As I said, people, before I let you go, 2 bits of content to come today. Obviously, Manchester City against Leeds, where obviously if you can't be there, set a reminder and all those good things, or hit the like button, mess up the algorithm for me. Obviously, Arsenal against West Ham. Love to everyone who's hit the like button and set their reminders is tomorrow. So yeah, man, obviously, don't forget to keep your opinions coming in relation to Aubameyang. In relation to Arteta's press conference, we'll circle back on that tomorrow. We'll circle on any potential fallout that happens. I'm going to be live unless something happens with Art DeRoche, the athletic journalist at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So yeah, the poll is split of 1K votes. Again, I don't even know what it ended like. So you didn't help at all. You know, literally, some of you are saying drop Smith Rowe, drop Odegaard. I should have put an option of play both, but it only dawned on me after. And unlike Twitch, you can't have more than one vote on one live stream and that. But yeah, man, it's been a solid one, man. Again, anyone who's hit the like button and anyone that's just giving up their time, whether it's just to listen, whether to offer opinions or whatever, I appreciate that. Someone said Aubameyang next Sky pundit, bro. You know, if they asked him to be on Monday Night Football like with Haaland the other day or whatever, he's gonna miss that as well. So the pundit thing might not even be there. You can't do Gillette Soccer Saturday if you're gonna turn up at 7 p.m. on a Saturday evening, are you? So I don't know, man. For Aubameyang, I would say, bro, might as well just start this rap thing, you know, really and truly, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, man, obviously it's put pressure on him. It is. I don't think about Arteta, to be fair, wanted it to get to this point. Reality is it has, in it. So it is what it is. For me, I just dream of a world where we can just talk about football with Arsenal, not the shenanigans and this guy ain't seeing eye to eye, this and that. There's too much of this, man. Like, I can't take it anymore. Like, as you can tell, whenever these things come, I don't know if you lot can tell, because even if a topic frustrates me, I like to show that I care about it because you lot offering your opinions, but you can see my frustration with this off-field bullshit. You know, I don't even like talking about transfers. I'm here to talk tactically and what's happened at the club and where we can go. I don't really have time for these dramas. It's just bare dramas. Comedy gold. So it is what it is. Let's invite Oba to DG show. Why not, man? We might get our 50k subs. Make sure you're subscribing. Journey to 50k sub is still alive and kicking. Twitch, journey to 10k. And again, don't shag yourselves, people, on Twitch. You know, you're going to miss a bag of content. I think it's easy to say Arteta is the problem, but it seems there's been a culture at the club. I mean, it's different players, though. I do think both people are part of the problems and both people are part of the solutions. As I said, I think there's three sides to everything. There's your side, his side or she side, and the truth. I don't know the truth, the raw, uncut truth. We don't know it, so I don't know what I can have with it. I can see where I think they're both right and they're both wrong in it, but reality is Arteta is probably going to outlast Aubameyang. I want you to get us European football, so you've dropped Aubameyang, make it count. Simple as that. I wouldn't, I don't know if Aubameyang. I don't think it's fair to say anyone's the problem. If I'm honest with you, yeah, Troops is too big time, man. Shout out Troops, but he's too big time. He aired a couple of them, But shout out him. I haven't shouted him recently, but yeah, still rating on Curtis and Turkish to tell me when they're free. But yeah, everybody's busy, so we don't force them things there. But yeah, man, let him do his thing in it. Let him do his thing. I want to see Troops too, man. Shout him in it. But on that note, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna love and leave you lot, man. What's the time over here in the UK? 2:15. I got a bag of things to do before the next live stream, which is once again 7:30 p.m. Man City against Leeds.